All right. We're Brad and Diana from It's About Time Now.
All right. We're Brad and Diana from It's About Time Now.
And we're going to do the RV challenge. Actually, it's a 10 question. The 10 question RV challenge. We heard about this first from Jurgen's Journeys. He's another small channel. He had gotten the challenge from BLUWAVE Odyssey.
And we have an RV challenge that a couple of our followers put out there.
Jurgen's Journeys.
Jurgen's Journey and BLUWAVE Odyssey. So we thought it might be fun, so we would give it a go. So this is a 10 question challenge. And the first question is, if you could change anything about your RV, what would it be?
So I did think about that question, and the first thing that came to mind would be more outside storage or maybe more space.
I would like it to be able to tow, but more space would be good. More living space. We are tiny, and we knew that going into it, but could use a little more room when you have the dogs in here with us. Okay, so question number 2. Something you didn't expect when you got your first RV.
All right, this was also an easy one for me. The very first thing was the water. I realized I went through a lot of water, especially filling up the gray tank. I think just washing dishes did it.
Okay, remembering that most of your smaller rigs only carry 30 to 40 gallons of fresh water, and typically your gray tanks are 30 gallons. That sounds like a great deal, but if you're washing dishes like you do at home, or you take a long shower, you can fill that gray tank up very, very quickly and then run out of fresh water as well. So number 3, what was the deciding factor when buying your first RV?
When we thought about this, I think we both came up with the same answer, but we phrased it a little differently. And what I said was, and what I thought was, we've always wanted to do this. We had planned on traveling when we got to retirement. So this is what we decided to do.
Yeah, we had talked about that for years and years and years. We got married young. We had our children young. We got them out of the house. We still felt like we were reasonably young. Decided that, yeah, let's start traveling. The other thing that we found out was that people get sick, and tomorrow's not guaranteed, and we've lost a lot of friends, and we're not that old. We're not even 60 yet. This was an important part to us, to be able to go and travel and see the country and do the things that we had talked about pretty much our entire life together. All right, so number 4. What's your favorite meal to cook when you're camping? Well, my favorite meal of the day to cook when we're camping is breakfast. Because I have a little Blackstone grill that taps into our propane system. We'll cook sausage or bacon or eggs or hash brown potatoes or pancakes, and typically I do most of the cooking. So
yeah, he's my keeper.
Yeah. So breakfast would be that, but then if you were to ask me what is my favorite type of meal to cook, I would say most likely it's going to be chicken fajitas. I like to do those. They're easy, they're tasty. The Blackstone does them very well, and that's a meal that typically we can have leftovers that will last us for a couple of days. All right, so number 5. What's your must-see RV destination? To me, Yellowstone. Yellowstone, I haven't yet been. We haven't been to Glacier National Park, which we are told is absolutely stunning, but our lifelong dream was to go to Yellowstone, and we did that.
We did. It is, I say every American should go there. It's a true national treasure. But I have other items. So for must-see RV destination after Yellowstone, I'm hoping to get one day out to Yosemite, also out to Utah. There's at least 5 national parks I want to go to there.
And we still haven't seen the Grand Canyon.
Right.
So we have a lot more places that we want to go, but if you were going to do an RV trip, just an out and a back, Yellowstone, and of course Grand Teton is right there, and those to me were some of the most, even the approaches to the parks were some of the most stunning scenery I have ever seen in my life, and I didn't realize truly that places like that still existed in the United States. It was pretty amazing. So number 6, what's your favorite thing about RVing?
Some of these required some thought. There's a lot I like about RVing. I think one of the best things is just freedom and actually being able to carry everything you need with you. So
I like the fact that we have everything we need right here. And most importantly, at least it is to us, we have a clean restroom at our disposal whenever or wherever we might need it. Out on the roads, some restrooms are a little shady, so it's just nice to have a clean bathroom right here, especially when you're driving 100 miles out across Montana between towns. Anyway, moving on. What is your least favorite thing about RVing?
all right, so I thought about this one, and the first thing that came to mind was actually a surprise. I hadn't realized that this was a thing before big travel, but the least favorite thing would probably be what I would consider isolation. I mean, it's good to have time out alone and all, but community is important. So that would be my least favorite thing, is the effort you have to put forth to keep up the connections.
Well, yeah, but we have to remember too that 2 days after you retired from your job, we hit the road. We were gone. So we didn't slowly transition into this. We just said, all right, she's retired, I'm retired, let's go. And we left. My least favorite thing about RVing would be I'm kind of a worrier, and I always have in the back of my mind a little bit of a worry. I hope the tires are going to be okay. I hope the rig runs right. I hope we don't have any issues. I hope we don't break down in the middle of nowhere. Those kind of things always weigh in the back. But, there's an old saying that says, what would you do if you weren't scared? How far would you go if you were not afraid? So you keep those things in check and you go, you know what? I'm going to go out and have the time of my life. I have nowhere to be and all day to get there. But least favorite things, yeah. Not a lot of people talk about that. Number 8, what is a must-have on your next RV? I would like to have automatic levelers. This girl right here, if this thing is listing even 1 or 2 degrees or even a quarter bubble on my level, she knows, and she's like, get the levelers out, we're not level. So I'd like to have automatic levelers, I think, on the next rig, and I'd like to have some towing capacity. I'm still looking for that. Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, that was my list, the towing capacity. When we got to Colorado Springs, we were there for over 10 days, and we were able to rent a car, which was fantastic. So I think tow capacity would be good.
Right, but the reason that we bought this little rig is our ability to pull off at any scenic overlook, to easily fit into a Walmart parking lot. I mean, we're tiny. We're only 26 feet long, 27, 28 with a rack on the back. So we, of course, recognize we would lose that. And that is one of the reasons that we sold the travel trailer that we bought originally, was we recognized that those scenic overlooks and those areas that we wanted to stop and maybe take pictures or see things, we would not always be able to do that. Some of those overlooks are tiny.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So moving on to number 9. What's your favorite adult beverage at camp? Well, this is an easy one for me. I don't drink. So my favorite adult beverage is usually ginger ale, coffee in the morning.
Well, that's the same for both of us. We both love our coffee in the morning. Although if we get to a harvest house or somewhere, I will take one for the team, and I am happy to have those wine tastings. So.
Yeah, all right. And so the final question on the list is, what is your favorite indoor RV accessory? I think this hands down. I mounted a small marine 3-speed fan in here. It's in back in the bedroom. You've seen that in some of our videos.
We'll show it right here for you.
And that little fan, that was a must-have for sure. And we didn't cover that in our 5 must-haves either. But it is built in, it's tapped into the rig's electrical system, and it just has the ability to just move air over you when you're laying in bed. And to me, that is absolutely our favorite indoor accessory in this rig. Okay, so there's the list.
Yep, that's the challenge. So we're going to throw down a challenge also to anyone who's watching us.
Yeah,